Hello everyone. For this week's tutorial, I'd like to teach the sensing functions and how they can be applied to designing games. The first of these variables is called touching, and you have two options, the mouse pointer or the edge. Although if you add more than one sprite to the stage, that will become a new option on your touching command as well. This command simply waits for the sprite to touch whatever you specify before executing the code after. The next option is touching color, so that instead of waiting for the sprite to touch a specific object before executing the rest of the code, it will wait for it to touch a color. And you can specify any hue, saturation, and value you like. Note that it is very sensitive to very small differences in saturation, value, or hue here. So it will have to be exact in order for it to register as touching. The next option, color 1, is touching color 2. Is similar, except it waits for a specific color in the object to touch a specific color, instead of waiting for the whole object, any part, to touch the color. The next option is distance to object, with the default option being mouse pointer, but you can also have more objects on the list as you add more objects to the stage. The next command is ask question and wait, which will stop all the rest of the code until after the question is answered, and you can customize what the text will say as well. The option after that is the answer variable, which stores the string of text you put in as the answer to the question box. This can be used for multiple if-or loops, so that the character can interact with the player differently depending on what they say as an answer. The command after that is key pressed. The default option is space. And this simply stops all the rest of the code from executing until you press the specific key. There is also an any option for any input that you want to put in. The option after that is mouse down, which waits for you to click the mouse and hold it down, or trackpad if you are a laptop user, before executing the rest of the code. It works exactly like key pressed. The only reason it is different is because the mouse works differently hardware-wise than the keyboard. The two options after that are the X and Y coordinates of the mouse on the screen, which have the limitations of the maximum number of pixels, wide and tall, on the stage. The command after that is set drag mode, which determines whether you can drag it while the script is running in the game, or if you cannot drag the sprite with the mouse. The option after that is a loudness variable, which measures the loudness in decibels of the microphone input, either a USB headset mic or a mic built into your device. The variable after loudness is timer, which outputs the time in seconds that the timer has counted. There is also a reset timer option, which simply changes the timer variable back to 0. The option after that is backdrop number of stage. Although you can change it to any variable of any stage, the command is simply used as a way to monitor the variables acting on the stage, aka the background. The default variable properties are backdrop number, which determines the stage number, backdrop name, which is the stage name, volume, which determines how loud the stage is overall, and then finally, my variable, which is the default custom variable as mentioned earlier. The next option is current year, although you can use other units of time besides years. For example, you can do month, date, day of week, hour, minute, or second, depending on how sensitive you want the timing to be. The option after that is a very specific measurement and is the days since the year 2000. The last option is called username and simply stores a string of text that you use for your screen name on the Scratch engine. This username option is very useful for things like cloud variable storage that displays multiple player names for things like leaderboards or other purposes. Now that I've gone over all the sensing options, I can move on to the last type of option next week, the motion options.
Don't forget to subscribe if you found this video informative, and make sure to see other tutorial videos, and follow me on either Facebook or Twitter for more content.